dreams today. Mysterious dreams. I'm still playing around with settings, but I'm getting close. I think this sounds really good. Anyway, yeah, dreams. What are they really? I don't know. I mean, I read a bunch and I listened to a lot of, scientists, and I mean, from I looked at it from a couple of angles, like, yeah, scientific ones, like there's a bunch you can measure, when your brain releases certain chemicals, or this DMT thing and stuff, like in deep sleep, and they're still unsure what it does, but it does something that's probably pretty vital to dreaming, and also not just dreaming, but day in, day out reality, like waking reality. It's also active in a certain amount, which is interesting, I think, because that means that that sort of harkens back to what I said in one of those earlier videos, that everything we see is sort of still an interpretation of the reality and not the full picture. And so this makes sort of sense that there's, DMT is highly, I don't want to say hallucinogenic, because that's kind of a dirty word, I think. It's, because hallucination sort of means, it's not real, it's whatever, forget about it. And I don't think dreams are that at all. I think that's a big mistake if you do that. Well, it depends on the dream, of course, right? I mean, there are dreams that, like, make total sense in an ordinary way. Like, let's say you played, I remember someone who hasn't played video games ever, who played a lot of Tetris, back in the day when it was new, like a really old person, and he played Tetris and he kind of got hooked on it, and he couldn't stop, and then he dreamed about the blocks falling down, and then he said he threw it away. And back then as a kid I thought this was kind of silly, maybe you should just play less, you don't have to throw it away. Anyway, that dream made sense to me. Like, of course, he's sort of like soaking up something completely new to him, something novel, and in his dream is still, working on the process of making it, integrating it into his reality. That makes sense to me in this sort of way. But I have to say, I also had dreams that don't fit that narrative at all. Where I saw pictures or met people that I haven't seen, or, I saw things that were sort of kind of a bit like what I would imagine, but like it completely surprised me about, they're very personal at times. So I don't want to get too specific, because it may frighten you. No, but maybe this sounds good as well. It's kind of satisfying. I really don't know. I mean, it's a box, It has like hinges. It's just a fancy box, but I don't know. I don't know where I find stuff like that. That was a present, I don't. It's a taxi. It's not. It says New York taxi, not my taxi. Whatever. So probably it's from there. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, dreams. Sometimes it feels like something else is talking. It's not. it's not just you, you know. And that's also what people say about these DMT trips and stuff, that that it feels like they see more of what reality is made up of, or you know, of what it consists of. I think that's interesting because in my most vivid dreams, I had the same feel. Like I got like a clue of something that's about to come, or you know, I'm gonna share this one dream with you because it's like really, it's like very, you know, and whatever. I don't say. I first of all think everyone can tap into this, so I'm not coming from this place where I think like, you know, I have like, I don't want to say I don't believe I'm special, because I do think I'm special, but I also think everyone else is, you know, you get my point. Anyway, so I had this dream where I was lying on a, maybe I told it, and anyway, I'm gonna tell it again I'm gonna tell. So I had this dream, and in this dream I was lying on the ground and looking up at the night sky, and I saw these like these stars, and it feels like I shouldn't tell you that. I have to say, it feels like it should be a secret, if I'm completely honest with you. But okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna go into detail because that's not that important. The important part is, and that's a stretch, no matter if I go into detail or not, but I'm gonna round it up to the important part. I saw something happen there, you know, that I haven't seen stars do. Like, it was really wild. And then I woke up and I made a note, and I painted it. I made a sketch as clearly as I could of what had happened, and I named it and stuff because it was so amazing, you know. And then later on, I met a very good friend, like 2 weeks later, and we talked and kind of, you know, somehow we got onto this DMT thing, and this friend said, "Oh yeah, I tried that," you know, and I was really, oh wow, hey, that's very, you know, brave and stuff, because I'm a bit trepidatious when it comes to that. I want to try it too, but also I think maybe I don't need it because I'm, you know, I have those crazy dreams. So anyway, and then that friend said, you know, what she saw, and she saw what I had dreamt. I mean, it was the same picture I haven't seen anywhere else. You know, it really wasn't. At the time, I wanted to, you know, relativize it. Is that the right word? I wanted to, you know, put it into context and say, well, you know, I was reading this book and it kind of looked a bit like that, and maybe it's a mix, and I don't know, whatever. But I really haven't seen this image anywhere at all. And then that friend told me exactly that image, and she was lying on the ground, you know, and looking at the stars, and then the stars did that, you know. And I'm sorry I kind of hyped you up and then I didn't go into details, but it really feels like every time I tell it, it's like I only tell it to people directly, one-on-one, and only if you know, there's a certain connection there where I feel like I can share this without, you know, not that I don't trust you, but this, it doesn't feel right to share it that way. And often dreams don't feel right to share it that way, which, you know, because it makes sense. They are very personal. You know, it's sort of like they are told in a language that only you understand, or I mean, not entirely. Some people are pretty good in figuring out certain symbolic stuff, and I have to say, sometimes I had dreams with a lot of symbolic stuff that I didn't know what it meant, and I later looked up and then thought, that's exactly what it felt like. You know, that's weird, isn't it? Like, I didn't consciously know the connection to, like, I haven't learned it in that sense, but I understood it, you know, when I sort of had this feeling, you know. Um, yeah, like, yeah, I think there's one I can I share it? Yeah, I can, because that's a beautiful one. And I think that's sort of more, general, and everyone can see something in it for himself. So, yeah, I had this wild dream that kind of flip-flop and switched around, where time is bending and you're in different places all the time. And in a dream it makes sense, but it makes absolutely like it's, and whatever. And then I had like, I had in my hand like this, what's it called? Like it was, wait, I have to look this up. I can't mess this up because it's symbolic. That's important because it was a very specific thing. Okay. Oh yeah, acorn. I had like a very big acorn in my hand, and this was in a time where I had a lot of doubts and I wasn't doing so well. And I had this big acorn in my hand, and it wasn't just it was really massive, like more like a coconut, and it was kind of sort of hollowed out a bit, and inside of it were these incredible, like these beautiful carvings, and it was plated with gold and silver. It looked amazing. I can't even, I couldn't grasp the beauty of it. It was just, it blew me away. And then I woke up and I thought, wow, this was so beautiful. I feel like really, closer to myself after this. But what the hell did all that mean, And then I looked it up, and the acorn symbolically means it's sort of like it's connected with your own. I feel like I told you this before, but anyway, it's connected with your own like inner self. It's like the out of this acorn there will grow a tree. This acorn doesn't. It has all the information it needs to become a tree, And that's what the dream told me. Like, don't look at all this other stuff out there. Don't try to, you got everything you need to become a tree. Just grow. Just, And this is so true in a very, also a very scientific way. You need nourishment and stuff. I need food and water and stuff, but basically you don't need to learn how to, what do I do with this water? Okay, let's, I don't know my body doesn't know what to do with it. Like, it knows, it just knows, and so do you, all the information is there genetically, and, whatever you want to, whatever else you want to, I don't know, it worked for me in that way. Maybe it's also very personal, because, again, for someone else this dream might just be confusing. But, most of them are, especially when I'm doing well, they're very clear, but also when at that time I wasn't doing so well, and some of them felt like clear warning signs, like, hey, this isn't going anywhere, and then the dream showed me the result that would lead me to, or something, and I got a clear, I agree, yeah. So, whatever, you can really, I think you can talk endlessly about this. I think it's, because there's always like an aspect of, so maybe it amplifies your unconscious feelings. I'm sure there's a part of that. But I also leave the door open to, what about this collective unconscious? Is it connected to that? And because otherwise, how could, like, this experience with my friend, that really, I'm still thinking about it, because what is that, It's sort of like not tied to time and space, and it's, but it makes sense to me, that's a really close friend, I love this friend, and what is love? I mean, you can't really tie that down to something logical and rational as well, purely at least, you know. I mean, there are all these aspects tying into it, like beauty and stuff. But it's not just that. And even beauty is like, oh, that's another subject. That's another subject. One more time. One more time. Yeah, anyway. Tell me about, no, you know what? Keep if it doesn't feel right, keep your dreams to yourself. Make a dreams journal or something. I really think, you know, I did that a couple of times, sharing very personal dreams, and it was a conversation stopper, because, you know, everyone just looked at you and like, I don't know, I don't, you know, hey, a bird, you know. They were desperate to change the subject. So yeah, sorry if I hyped you up for details and stuff, but I feel like this imagery I saw, I think that's something for my writing, you know, that's something that has to find like an organic way into